Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And there is a global realization that something isn't quite right with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And, to do with vaccines and the COVID-19 virus. And there is a White House petition to investigate Bill Gates for medical malpractice and crimes against humanity. And it is gaining a huge amount of momentum in America and around the world. The We the People petition asks the federal government to call on Congress to investigate the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, stating that Congress and all other governing bodies are derelict in duty until a thorough and public inquiry is complete. The petition, created on the 10th of April, reached the threshold of 100,000 signatures within days and is currently one of the most popular petitions on the site. As the White House's We the People website explains, the petition platform empowers every American citizen to become an agent of change. And if a petition gains 100,000 signatures in 30 days, the White House will make sure it gets in front of the appropriate policy experts. We the People is a platform that empowers the American public to take this action like never before. It's a way for anybody, anywhere, to speak directly to the government and to become an agent for change. Now, I've got to tell you that Saturday night, 8 p.m. Johannesburg time, I'm going to be talking to Teresa, and we're going to be discussing the patents that Bill Gates and Microsoft have taken out regarding various things, but all related to humanity and many related to COVID-19 vaccines. And one patent in particular has three numbers that should be of serious concern to you. 666. We will be unmasking that patent on Saturday night. It's a patent which has been given to Microsoft, and the material that the patent is actually protecting is disturbing, to say the least. Let's get back to the story here. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the nephew of the late former President John Kennedy, has been vocal in criticizing Gates for what he describes as a messianic conviction that he is ordained to save the world with technology. Kennedy Jr. wrote, "Vaccines for Bill Gates provide a strategic philanthropy that feed his many vaccine-related businesses, including Microsoft's ambition to control a global vac ID enterprise and give him dictatorial control over global health policy, the spear tip of corporate neo-imperialism." Now, one other thing we're going to be talking about on Saturday night is ID 2020, which is where you have a chip and it kind of controls you. This is all part of the same complex story we're talking about here. Anyway, let's continue. Gates' obsession with vaccines seemed fueled by a messianic conviction that he is ordained to save the world with technology and a godlike willingness to experiment with the lives of lesser humans. And it's not just Americans who are concerned about the overreach of Bill Gates and his cronies. In the UK, the media fear porn continues daily, devoid of any true statistics. As David Icke pointed out in London Real when the lockdown started, the tiptoe of totalitarianism would continue, extending the lockdown indefinitely, crushing small businesses, causing panic and widespread homelessness, and a crushing dependency on the new emerging global state. His commentary was one dismissed as the ravings of a conspiracy theorist, but not anymore. Weeks into lockdown, the death bell rings continually from the mainstream media, advising the public not to expect anything good soon, unless we accept a vaccine. That dialogue alone should be ringing alarm bells for anyone who's even the slightest bit awake. With so many independent voices speaking out against the corruption of the World Health Organization and Gates, it's obvious why the media is not speaking out. For a long time, our global media has been bought out, and the few control the scripts. One great site that counters the misinformation and disinformation from mainstream media is the Science one. More recently, investigative reporter Zed Phoenix has been courageous enough to speak out on the matter in the UK, providing an in-depth analysis of the corruption that supposedly goes all the way to the very top. Here is a summary of what he found. Christopher Whitty is an English physician and epidemiologist who is Chief Medical Officer for England, Chief Medical Advisor to the UK government. As it stands right now, he will be on the executive board of the World Health Organization. So where does his allegiances lie? To the British public or his funders? Whitty receives a grant for £31 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation under the guise of philanthropy. Whitty has been very hardline about what the British people should expect over the next few weeks and months, not to expect things to return to normal until a vaccine is given to the general public. You're starting to see the overlap between Gates and people who hold positions of power in a particular area. Sir Patrick Vallance, former president of R&D at GlaxoSmithKline plc, and Whitty takes advice from the World Health Organization, funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The USA has dropped out of funding the World Health Organization. What is really going on? Well, the World Health Organization calls Bill Gates King Bill because of the money given. Who's on the SAGE committee advising the UK government? Nobody knows. The UK media knows this, but they are not informing the public. Why? There is a total media silence on all this. It's called not meeting the narrative of the publisher. The UK Vaccine Network, a working group, is going to make decisions about which vaccines, and only 2 of 37 people are not on the payroll of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the World Health Organization. Most are being funded by them now or work directly with them now. Dr. Ian Hudson, former CEO of the MHRA, the medical regulator, is also on the panel. Zed Phoenix said, "This is corruption of the highest order. If this wasn't nefarious, why didn't the government put doctor or professor in front of the names listed? And why didn't they put the companies they work for? Because if they did, it would read Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for all of the document." They changed a few of their names, e.g. Mike was actually Michael, etc. Bill Gates has control of the test and for the vaccine already. Tests will be sold at around £225 each. That turns it into £14 billion for Bill Gates and his company. The UK government gave BMGF £500,000. Why? Who's benefiting from it in government? The vaccine will be sold at about £470, which comes to £31 billion, £45 billion in total. To Bill Gates, investing £2 billion is nothing when he's going to be making £43 billion. The UK Vaccine Network is a big smokescreen for Bill Gates, GSK and the World Health Organization. The government has been blinded by greed and Bill Gates's hero status. Bill Gates has thrown about £1 billion at scientists over the last decade, at least. He's bought scientists from prestigious institutes. Philanthropy isn't philanthropy when it's really about ROI and greedy profit. It's called racketeering. Bill Gates owns a product and supply chain, so it's actually racketeering. The British media has been destroyed, e.g. The Guardian is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Change.org, the petition site, is also heavily funded by BMGF, and they have removed petitions against the coronavirus bill and also Bill Gates. I wonder why. Corporate media will only follow the fear narrative of conspiracy theory about a new world order. Now we know this new world order comes from China, Bill Gates, and the World Health Organization, and the media are under complete control, the fake news that we talk about. The media will only focus on these issues if they can run the theme conspiracy theory, and the general public are then known to switch off. Bill Gates has backed every horse in the Grand National and knew about the coronavirus pandemic, as per his TED Talk back in 2015. So how complicit in the creation and spread of the virus is he? Oxford Imperial College received £72 million from Gates. Gates and GSK have a £1 billion investment deal which will generate £45 billion. Make no mistake, this level of corruption is a crime against humanity and needs to be treated as such. Vacutech is owned by a subsidiary of Google, also in this. The real agenda is about fear and control. Due to the overwhelming evidence of unethical professional and financial ties between the British government, the World Health Organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, GlaxoSmithKline, and the GSK Gates Foundation-backed UK vaccine network, brings into question the very ethics of any vaccine produced. We, the general public, are concerned that any vaccine produced by the above-named entities might be harmful to the public's health. During previous vaccine programs conducted by GlaxoSmithKline and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, harmful additives were found by scientists to be included in their vaccines. These additives were anti-HCG, or anti-human chorionic gonadotropin, CTP amino acids, and anti-GnRH, which are designed to cause infertility in men and women. Out of 63 women given the anti-HGC CTP vaccine by GSK and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, 61 women became infertile. 61 out of 63. COVID-19 falls under the control of the Diseases Act 1984, which regulates the mandatory vaccinations of the population in regards to communicable and infectious diseases such as tuberculosis and now COVID-19. The public's right to informed consent is lost under this act, and patients can be forced to take any and all medications by any government authority. This happened at the North Manchester General Hospital. The Control of Disease Act was used to detain a man for inpatient treatment of TB against his will. The act was used to prevent the spread of TB to the wider public by forcing treatment onto an individual who was not compliant. If we, the general public, have lost our right to informed consent due to a mandatory vaccination program, we must be assured that all vaccines provided by the government are not designed intentionally or unintentionally to harm the general public now or in the future. The inclusion of harmful additives is of great concern to the British public, as any resulting drop in the fertility of both men and women combined with new cancer clusters would have catastrophic consequences on the population and productivity of the country. If harmful infertility additives were included in any vaccine, it is estimated that between 7 to 10 years after receiving the vaccine, mass infertility would present itself across the population, resulting in mass panic as birth rates would vanish across the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. We also believe that a mandatory mass vaccination program, which may be seen by the population to be unsafe, by rushing a vaccine into production, could lead to civil unrest. So there you go, guys. Don't forget, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Johannesburg time, I'm going to be talking live to Teresa on the main Loving Life channel. We're going to be unpacking the Bill and Melinda Gates patents, who they're funding. We're going to be unpacking what is ID 2020, which is basically like a chip in your body. And we're going to be unpacking this new patent with the 666 in it, which is owned by, guess who? Microsoft. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe.